My brother and sister-in-law had boy-girl twins, but they only wanted the boy. I felt sorry for the girl, so I took on the job of raising my niece. Then after I got married and became pregnant, my niece tried to take all the family assets. She caused a gas leak on purpose and burned me to death. When I opened my eyes again, the original host was at the orphanage, looking for a companion for her daughter. The gifted girl Lucy stared at me stubbornly. "Auntie, if you won't adopt my sister too, I'm not going with you." "Then stay here," I said flatly. After I turned her down, Lucy gripped Anna's hand tightly and looked at me with pleading eyes. I glanced at Anna, then looked back at Lucy. "You're Lucy and she's Anna. You two aren't real sisters, are you?" Lucy immediately stepped half a pace forward, shielding Anna completely. "Auntie, Anna sees me as her sister. Please adopt both of us." Anna ran out from behind Lucy and hugged my waist. "Mommy, please take us with you." I didn't answer. Lucy's eyes flickered. Then she turned to my daughter beside me. Lucy said, "Amy, didn't you want a little friend to play with you? Anna and I can both play with you, okay?" Amy clutched the corner of my shirt, her lips pressed tightly together. In the book, she was quiet and obedient. When she grew up, those two so-called sisters pushed her to a breakdown and forced her to leave town. Only after my husband and I died in a car accident did Amy rush back to see us one last time. But at the memorial hall, Lucy pointed at her in front of everyone and yelled, "You never came back when Mom and Dad were alive. Now you're playing the good daughter? You just want the inheritance, don't you?" Right now, they were acting sweet and well-behaved. But once I adopted them, they would team up against Amy. I silently watched the two children. The director said, "Ms. Emma, the two girls are very close and don't want to be separated. I'll talk to Lucy. She's sensible. She'll go with you." I said, "Director, forget it. I only came to find my daughter a companion. If I force those two apart, the one I adopt might hold a grudge and bully my daughter later." The director's face changed slightly. "How could that happen? Lucy asking for this just proves she values relationships. She'll definitely treat your daughter well. And when she grows up, she'll repay you?" "Repay me?" I stroked Amy's head. "I have my own child. I'm adopting a child here, not investing in payback." In the book, the original host poured money and resources into Lucy and turned her into a piano master. Anna also became a polished white-collar professional. And what happened? Once they succeeded, they forgot about their adoptive mother. They lived in the same city, yet they never visited, not even a phone call. Lucy even said in an interview that her childhood had nothing but endless piano practice under the original host's pressure and no happiness at all. Overnight, the original host became the evil adoptive mother, hated by the entire internet. To clear her head, she and her husband drove to see their daughter, but they got into a car accident and both died. Right after the original host died, Lucy and Anna immediately came back to fight her daughter for the inheritance, and together, they pushed her to the edge. Thinking of this, I didn't want to stay a second longer. I took Amy's hand and left. I'd like to see how far those two sisters can go this time without my support. When we got home, my husband Jack looked past me and Amy, then glanced behind us. Jack asked, "Where is she? Weren't you going to pick up that child? Why did only you two come back?" I bent down to change my shoes. "She didn't want to come," Jack said. "Impossible. I clearly talked it through with her." I looked up at him. Jack was a piano master, and all he wanted was a student who could inherit his craft. Before Amy was even 3, he had already forced her onto the piano bench. Now, at 10 years old, her fingertips were covered in calluses, and all she ever got from Jack was, "You really have no talent." Last week, he performed at the orphanage. After he finished a piece, Lucy, who had been standing in the corner, stepped forward and played almost the exact same piece, missing only 3 notes. Jack's eyes lit up on the spot. "Do you want to be my student?" Lucy nodded hard, but then awkwardly said that kids from the orphanage couldn't just go out whenever they wanted. That night, Jack came home and told me, "Amy is too lonely. Let's adopt a child to keep her company." That child said she wouldn't come home with me unless we also took the younger sister she recognized at the orphanage. Jack froze when he heard that. I looked annoyed. "Back then, I agreed to adopt a child because you're too harsh on Amy, and I thought a companion might be good for her. But now that child wants to bring another one. What if they team up to bully Amy?" Jack brushed it off. "Don't think so badly of people. It's just one more child. Bringing both home is no big deal. It's just one more mouth to feed." I stared at him coldly. "Raising children isn't shopping. There's no buy one, get one free. Jack, I don't agree to adopting those 2 girls." Jack stared straight at me like he was looking at a stranger. Just then, a small icy hand gently tugged on mine. Amy was trembling. I held her hand tight and took her back to the bedroom. The next day I was cooking with an apron on when Jack came home. Behind him stood a small, skinny figure. It was Lucy. She looked at me timidly and whispered, "Auntie." I didn't answer. I stared straight at Jack. He patted Lucy's shoulder and said gently, Jack said, "Lucy, from now on, this is your home." Only then did he look up at me. "This child has musical talent. It would be such a waste not to train her, so I brought her home." I slammed the kitchen knife onto the counter. "So finding Amy a playmate was a lie? Was it that hard to admit you wanted a student?" Jack's face darkened. "What was I supposed to say? That your daughter has no talent? If I said that, you'd make a scene." I scoffed. "What's there to make a scene about? Your musical genes didn't get passed down to your daughter. Shouldn't you reflect on yourself first?" In the book, Jack always blamed me for Amy's lack of musical talent, so this time I threw it right back at him. Jack stared at me with wide eyes. I rolled my eyes at him. "What are you looking at? Like I made this child all by myself? Since you look down on Amy so much, she won't be practicing piano anymore starting today." Jack said, "That's ridiculous. She studied for so many years. How can she just quit?" I picked up the knife from the cutting board. Didn't you say she has no spark? Now that you have a good student, you still want my daughter standing there as a backdrop? Jack's face turned livid. What nonsense are you talking about? Why would I make Amy a backdrop? Lucy quickly spoke from the side. Auntie, I don't have to learn piano from the teacher. I just want a meal and a place to stay. Before Jack could promise her anything, I stared at him. If you want Amy to keep learning piano, this child cannot enter this house. Choose. Jack chose to keep Lucy. When Amy came home from school and heard she didn't have to practice piano anymore, her eyes lit up first. Then she looked at Lucy. Are you going to change your name? Lucy immediately shook her head. I won't change it. This name is the only thing my mom left me. Not changing it, huh? I glanced at Jack. The book had mentioned that Jack's first love was also named Lucy. Jack calmly cut in. It's just a name. What does it matter? Lucy looked up at him and smiled. Thank you, Dad. I studied the two of them. Their features didn't look alike. But just in case, I still took hair from both of them and secretly sent it for a paternity test. When the results came back, they were exactly as I expected. They weren't related by blood. I put the report in my bag and went home. The moment I opened the door, I heard Anna's sharp voice from the living room. You want to see me hit you? I didn't alert them. I stood in the entry hallway and watched Anna point fiercely at Amy. If I wasn't worried about making things hard for Lucy, I would have scratched your face up already. Amy trembled with anger. You broke my stuff and now you want to hit me? Anna said. What do you mean your stuff? Since Uncle Jack adopted Lucy, this is her home too. Lucy interrupted softly. Enough, stop fighting. Amy, I didn't know that doll was yours. Anna liked it, so I let her play with it. Amy held back her tears. Before you came, I was the only child in this house. If the doll isn't mine, whose is it? Anna suddenly shoved Amy hard. You're just jealous that Uncle Jack is teaching Lucy piano. Who told you to have no musical talent? It's just a dumb doll, who cares? After saying that, she threw the plush doll on the floor and stomped on it hard. Amy fell to the ground. Amy's eyes turned red. She tried to get up and hit Anna, but Anna tripped her again. I rushed over and helped Amy up. The moment she saw me, she threw herself into my arms and burst into tears. In the book, she was afraid the original host would fight with Jack, so whenever she got bullied, she swallowed it silently. Those sisters always picked the moments when the original host wasn't around to hurt her. They even set her up so the original host would think Amy was the one bullying them. Anna panicked when she saw me. Then she reacted and tried to hug me. Mommy, you're back. I shoved her away. Don't call me that. Since when do I have a daughter like you? Anna stumbled sideways, hit the living room wall, and burst into tears. Jack came out of the study. Jack looked at Amy. What's all this noise? I sneered. So you were home? Those two teamed up to bully Amy, and what, are you deaf? Jack's face darkened. Watch your tone. Amy is an only child and doesn't know how to give in. Both of those kids are younger than her. What's wrong with letting them have a little? I walked over, slapped him hard across the face, then raised my leg and kicked Jack to the floor. He was in so much pain he couldn't get up for a long time. All three children froze in shock. Lucy and Anna covered their mouths in horror. Amy snapped out of it and wanted to help him. I stopped her. Amy, don't go. Otherwise your clueless dad might take it out on you again. I pulled the paternity test report from my bag and threw it onto Jack. Anyone who didn't know better would think Lucy was your biological daughter. Your own daughter is being bullied by those two orphans and you still speak up for them. Jack looked down and opened the report. A few seconds later, he suddenly raised his head, even angrier. Emma, are you done making trouble? It says right here in black and white that Lucy and I are not related. You did this behind my back. Did you ever respect me? Respect? I didn't agree to you adopting Lucy, but you brought her home on your own. I pointed at the stunned Anna. And while I wasn't home, you brought another one back. She pointed at Amy's face and said she deserved to be ignored because she had no talent. You hid in your room and didn't come out. Jack, ever since I married you, what in this family have you ever worried about? What about you? Besides calling your daughter stupid and useless, what have you done? If you hadn't looked down on her again and again, how would two helpless orphan girls dare to come into this house and walk all over her so quickly? Jack's pupils tightened. Lucy's face went pale, and she bit her lip hard, not daring to say a word. Amy stood beside me, still trembling at first, but as she listened to me, she slowly straightened her back and quietly looked at her father with almost unfamiliar eyes. I took the divorce agreement I had already prepared out of my bag and placed it on the coffee table. Sign it. There's been no place for us mother and daughter in this house for a long time. Your favorite student and the orphan you brought in are yours to raise. I'm taking my daughter. I picked up the luggage I had prepared long ago and took Amy toward the door. Jack climbed up from the floor and roared, Emma! You're using divorce to force me to send Lucy away? Anna was only visiting. I never even filed adoption papers for her. Seeing that I didn't stop, he raised his voice. It's easy for you to take Amy and leave now, but raising her by yourself won't be so easy. I looked back at him. Jack, I'm not asking for a divorce to force you to send anyone away. I genuinely want to divorce you. He froze, like he didn't understand. I didn't explain anymore. I took Amy's hand and pushed the door open. I left Jack's house with Amy without looking back. She stayed quiet the whole way, her little hand tightly gripping the corner of my shirt. Only after I brought her into the apartment I had rented did she lift her face, gently hug me, and ask uneasily. Amy asked, Mom, are you really divorcing Dad because of me? I crouched down and looked into her eyes. Not because of you, because of us. A home should never make you feel like you have to be careful even when you breathe. I stroked her hair. Mom just wants to be with you as you grow up. You can learn whatever you want, And if you don't like something, that's okay too. She buried her face in my arms and softly called me Mom. In the book, Jack was also cannon fodder. He poured everything into training Lucy, only to be stabbed in the back by her. After transmigrating into this book, I did think about changing his fate, but he insisted on adopting Lucy. Today, he was clearly home, yet he let those two orphan girls bully Amy. I realized the plot couldn't be completely overturned. I never planned to tell Jack the original storyline. What if he sent me to a mental hospital? Then what was the point of transmigrating? Now that I had left that house, even if I didn't have much money in my account, with my knowledge of the plot, I could definitely give Amy and myself a good life. Tap the link to watch the exciting continuation.